Can you just speak on the draft league a little bit? Maybe this gets clipped out as its own thing, depending on what you say.
Jolly
No
did
pressure.
a good video on it. Because I've been following cricket for the last 2 years and seeing how these new leagues work. Like Saudis are like starting all these new leagues, and I have Crick Nate, who's kind of in that world and knows some of the people here. Like the first draft pick was one of the owner's sons who played like college ball, and then it was like Robinson Cano. Who else got drafted? Pablo
Didi.
Sandoval, Didi.
Colon.
And Nick Swisher's involved, manager or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's gonna. I don't even know their goal, so I can't sit here and shit on it and say it's not gonna work because I hate when people do that to us and they don't even know the goal, right? Like people can say ball and play did not work. No one viewed it. It's like, well, actually, no. For the first time doing it, like I'm pretty incredibly proud of. We averaged 45K people for a game we invented that they had no idea the rules of. So like people. I don't want to fully shit on it or judge it without knowing what their goal is. You know what I mean? But I think it's going to be two teams playing exhibition matches is what I've heard of most recent. So we'll see what it is, or they got to make it some funky to get viewers. Or like I don't know the long-term plan. So I'd be very interested to hear. Like even being involved with Major League Cricket, I also see people shit on that from the outside, but they don't know the 5-year plan, because they're like, this isn't going to work. You're never going to convert Americans. But when you talk to MLC, they're like, well, actually, there's enough expats here that buy Willow TV and subscribe to all the cricket channels that we just don't need to convert new fans at all for the first couple of years. We can just service the people. So there's probably stuff that I don't know. So I wouldn't want to just like shit on it. I'm very interested to find out if they ever divulge their full plan. How long is this a quick cash grab? Because I don't think that's going to work. Is they're trying to build a league? Because I don't think that's going to work.
Do you think that there is a realm of possibility where, because the other leagues that we've seen do this, soccer is doing it, golf did it. Do you think that their MLB free agent pops up and they're going to throw a bag at them? Like, is that possible?
I just don't think it's possible because the landscape of leagues is much different than other sports. So other sports, you have competing top leags. Soccer has the Premier League and Bundesliga and what's the Spanish one?
La Liga.
La Liga, and and players play in they can go from one to the other, and it's not a huge drop if you go from Bundesliga to Premier League, right?
That would be an increase. Premier League is...
I know it's the top, but it's not crazy.
No,
it's not like...
It's the top 5 leagues are the top 5 leagues.
Yeah, it's not like going from MLB to the Atlantic League, which is literally minor league baseball, or to go play in Dominican Winter League, which people do, but it's not the money, the lifestyle, the fans. There's not one.
Yeah.
And, even like if you go look at like the Scottish Premier League, like they have a ton of crowd and audience and diehard fans. Baseball isn't that way, and North American sports aren't that way, where we have like capitalism of sports. We have like a top tier league that the best play in, and if you don't play in that, you're playing elsewhere, which is fine if you want to, but like, you know what I mean? It's not the same because there's no international. So that's the difference with cricket and soccer is like the World Cup comes around, the Olympics come around, you go play for your country, and that's like top class, the elite of the elite squads. And cricket's that way. Like, so these players, they play for Team Australia for all the international competitions or India or Pakistan. And then the franchise leagues are less than. So they can go roam around, get a contract here, get a contract there. So it's easy for the Saudi people to start these new franchise leagues in hopes that the IPL is going to buy you out. Or you can start live in hopes that PGA is just going to buy you out. I don't think you could ever put enough pressure on MLB as a competing league where they would buy you out because they're so worried about you.
Yeah.
Same with NFL
NBA.
and all that. And I don't think you could. And with soccer, you have such big names that you could get them fading and compete money wise, and it's not fucking crazy. You know what I mean? Like Messi coming to the U.S., you can say that's very similar to you can't say it's very similar, but you could say it's in the same range as Bauer going to play for Japanese team. Like he was one of the top pitchers.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's all the controversy. Adam Jones went and played in Japan. People have left to go play. Manny Ramirez played in Australia.
Yeah.
It's not the same. It's like, well, there's MLB, and then there's way down here where the soccer's kind of closer, and the cricket is different format. So I don't know if they realize that. Like, if that's their goal, it's not going to work. MLB is never going to get scared of you and buy you out like the PGA did.
Yeah. They're also never going to do like a Champions League, right? So like all of the top clubs from England go and compete. It would be like the 2 World Series teams would go and compete against Japan's 2 World Series teams in a tournament with Korea's 2 World Series teams, et cetera, et cetera.
They wouldn't care.
Yeah.
That would be like the first 5 Super Bowls when no one cared about it. It was an exhibition game.
Yeah. Maybe NPB should pitch that to MLB.
MLB wouldn't want it.
They wouldn't want it, but you should pitch it.
The other leagues would fucking love it. MLB would tell us, you owe us a lot of money. We're not going to send our winning team. And you're done. They're like, want to be done with baseball. The players would never do that.
The players wouldn't do it. You're right.
So, I don't know their end game.